Hi everyone, and welcome to Everyday Finance. Today we're going to talk about budget. We've already talked about it in the previous episodes, where we would choose and prioritize our expenses. And today I'm going to share some tips that I use, and some tools that help me track my expenses, help me track my savings, and help me achieve my goals, as we all do. So, as I mentioned before, I'm going to go to this link over here. It's from my Money Saving Expert. I'm going to share the link in the description, and it's going to show you a budget planner, how to use it. It has several tools. This is a really good budget sheet. You can download it here. It's really quick, and I'll open it for you. So this budget is full with links to Money Saving Expert. You got all the related links. You can discuss, find help if you want to fill it in, and yeah, basically you got all the instructions here. You got weekly, monthly, and yearly income and expenses. What do you spend? You got all the options over here. You can add options into it. It's really done in detail, if I want to be honest. But obviously, if you don't want to go through this planner, I usually use a simpler one done by me, and what I wanted to do is to explain how to do a new one. So you just do a blank one. You decide what expenses you're gonna put into it. For example, in my case, I got my expenses divided with my wife. So I usually do separate budgets. One for me, one for my missus. So what you want to do is, firstly, you want to put your income in, right? So you just put your income, and then you want to put if you earn it monthly, or if you earn it weekly. In my case, it's weekly, so I put week 1, week 2, sorry I missed the space over here, week 3, week 4, right? Okay, let's say that in our average income, it's like, let's say, between 400, 500 a week. So I'm gonna put 500, right? So we got 500 every week. Just copy and paste over here. So this is our income after tax, right? We're talking about income after tax. Obviously, I won't go into the details of putting this into center, and all of those details that will make it pretty. Okay, you can do it in the end. So basically what you want to put is your income, right? And then you want to start putting your expenses over here, right? For example, my missus is in charge of the mortgage, and she's in charge of the, let's say, the kids' savings. Okay, so these are two expenses that I won't include over here. So let's say 600 a month, and for kids' savings, she spends like 300 a month. Okay, 100 for each kid that we put into savings. Then I come over here and I put my expenses, because obviously she's already got nearly half her wage just over here. And she's also got, if I'm not mistaken, it's like mobile phones. She has that expense too, and it's about, amongst the 3 kids, it's about, let's say, I'll put 100 over here, okay? So in total, she's already got like 900 a month, plus clothing and stuff for the kids that I'm not gonna include over here, okay? So I'm just gonna focus on this wage. Since I had most of the expenses on my rental place when we moved to the new property, I just exchanged everything over here. So let's say let's go for the fixed bills, right? Because this is our priority. So our fixed bills would be water, gas and electric, life insurance, because when we buy a property we need to have a life insurance, house insurance. I probably shouldn't include this one because this is like £80 a year, so I would have to calculate over here. £80 divided by 52 weeks, it costs me like £1.50 a week. It's like ridiculous. I usually don't include the house insurance, but I will do this time. So now we got water, gas, electric, life, house insurance, groceries. Then we got, let's put TV license. If some people have it, some people don't. I just have it because I don't want to be bothered that they're gonna be calling me every month and trying to book visits to see if I got TV license or if I got TVs at home. And yeah, I got TVs at home and I don't want them to bother me. So I'd rather pay the TV license and that's it, than having to explain why I don't need the TV license. So water, gas and electric, life insurance, TV license. What I did was I recently changed, but I haven't removed all my subscriptions, but I subscribed an IPTV, which is a system that costs me £65 a year, and this IPTV has like 50,000 channels, including international channels, and it has all the series and all the movies that are included in HBO, Netflix, Prime, Hulu. It's got all of those series included in this package. If you ask me, is it legal? I'm not 100% sure how legal it is. I've done some research. Some people say it's legal, some people say it's not legal. What I did was, even though I tried it, it's working. It's worked for me for a long period of time. Not advising anyone to do it, but this will allow me to cancel all my other subscriptions. Oh yeah, she's got Netflix too. I think she pays like £50 a month, if I'm not mistaken. 15. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't 50. So I got Prime. I got my PC antivirus because I bought an antivirus for all the PCs, so I wouldn't have any issues. I got Crunchyroll. I got Disney Plus. And okay, petrol, DVLA, car insurance, and I think that's most of our fixed expenses, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry. Council. Whoops. I don't remember anything else. Well, if you got other expenses, you just include them in here, right? So what you want to do is you want to put all these expenses through your month. So what I did was I spread all these expenses throughout my month. Since I earn my money weekly, I thought, well, if I got all these expenses coming in the first week, I'm gonna be stuck, or I'm gonna start gathering money from the other weeks to cover the expenses on this week, and I didn't want that. So what I did was I split all my expenses throughout the month. So, for example, I got £130 council over here, £16 council, the DVLA over here. I got the house insurance. It's 1.5 every week. Groceries. What I did, I started to do this during COVID because I didn't want to go and buy groceries every week. If we're told to stay at home and to avoid contact with other people, we should start considering that we should go less into stores and stuff. So instead of going weekly, I started going during 2 weeks. So I buy the food for 2 weeks. This is for 5 people. In your case, it might be more, might be less. I spend around $250 roughly in groceries. TV license, it's 168 divided by 52 weeks, £3.23. Okay, let's put 3.25. Okay, let's spread this out. Obviously, what you can do is you can ignore these ones. So if you got annual expenses, you can ignore these ones, or you can put in a different fund, like yearly expenses, for example. What you can do is you put a standing order with these values into different accounts, and then you assign those accounts to pay the house insurance or the TV license. It's up to you. It's how you manage your money. It's up to you. So this is 65 a year as well. So 65 costs me 125 a week. At the moment, I'm still paying. Prime and Crunchyroll and Disney. I think that Prime is like £8. So I got all these subscriptions to come on the third week. Why? Because on the second week I've already got 250 for the groceries. So I threw these ones. I think it's £8. This is, let's put 8 on all of them because I'm not sure. So I think some of these might be cheaper, some of these might be a little bit more. And what I do is I try to balance everything. So for example, if I know I'm gonna have the groceries on the second week, I should put the expenses of petrol in my first and my third week. This is roughly what I do. So my car insurance, what I've done. Oh, I also got boiler. This was a deal I've done with a company that they installed me a new boiler, and I would pay the boiler is covered, fully covered for 10 years, and I would pay £40 a month for the boiler during those 10 years. So no expenses on my side, and I would pay these £40 a month for 10 years. So £40 times 12 times 10 cost me 4,800, a brand new boiler, with all the installation, everything, Wi-Fi, everything. And it was £40 a month without interest rates. So this is the only purchases I do that you might consider, oh yeah, but you say we should avoid debt. Yeah, these are the only purchases I do that can put me in debt, because they have no interest rate. So the money is always on your side, and I rather have more money on my side than giving them all the money at once. So let's consider that if you got these 4,800, right? However, you're paying 480 every year, right? Which means that you got, let's say, 4,520. Yeah, I think it is. Sorry. $300, yeah. Which means that you got 4,320 on your side after the first year. So if you invested this, right, or if you had it on a savings account for a year, let's say, you added, let's say, I think it's about roughly 3% at the moment in savings accounts, okay? Which means that out of those 480, by the money being on your side, you got 129 just for that money being on a savings account, which means that you're gonna pay less from your boiler because the money is on your side. So minus 129, 351. This is if you grab that money and put it aside. I'm just giving you an example that sometimes it's worth having those expenses when you don't have any interest rates. So car insurance, initially I was paying like 120, if I'm not mistaken, a few years back, and now magically, by renegotiating every year, which I advise people to do, try to renegotiate your car insurance every year. Every year check for new offers and stuff, because to be honest, I've never seen a renewal coming cheaper than what I was actually paying. It's always more. And then you just get in touch with another company and they do it for less, 50, 60, 70 pounds. So what we can see is that at the moment I'm paying 40 pounds for my car insurance with all the extras, full coverage, everything. So gas and electric. Gas and electric, I usually have it coming on the third week as well, and I pay around £200. And water, they've just reduced it to £27. I was paying about 60 last year, Then they found out there was some kind of mistake, and then they dropped it to 27 now. So happy days. My life insurance. This is funny. When I've done the mortgage and all those initial agreements, I was advised for a life insurance, and that life insurance would cost me £180. But they had some apps that we could do some steps and some exercise, and it would reduce the cost throughout the years. Anyway, the apps weren't working, the steps weren't being counted, nothing was working, and I looked I looked at their plan, and by the end I would be paying by the end of my mortgage I would be paying like 300 and something pounds a year, which is unbelievable. So I called them. I also renegotiated this, and they managed to get for me and my wife included, and it costs now £33 a month, right? Okay, take away. This is one of the expenses that... Oh, she's also got the gym, which costs her £50 a month, and it costs her like 3 times a week at £20. PT costs her 120. It costs her 60, 120, 240 a month. So as you can see, if we add all these expenses, these are the monthly expenses. She doesn't have much left, even if she's earning, like, she hasn't got much left. She's got like 700 roughly. So what we do, I usually assign like £40. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Let's say 50. Yeah, 10 for each. Okay. So this is a simple table, a simple spreadsheet that you can do on your own. So what you want to do is you want to add all of these. You just come here, auto sum, and then you just drag this for this column. Okay, then you got your total weekly expense, right? What you want to do over here is you grab this point over here and you drag it. What's going to do, it's going to copy the same operation for all the other columns. Okay, so these are the total expenses, right? Then what you want to do is put the delta here. Then you can, if you want, you can change the colors, you can do grids, whatever you want to do. Mine is all worked out, and I got totals and I got targets. Because what you want to do is set a target for yourself. So here, what you're gonna do is you want to put equal to your total income minus your total expenses, right? And there you go. Now you do exactly the same as you've done for all the other columns. Okay, so here we can put month, right? And then what you can do is you can do exactly the same. Add all of these. Add all of these. And do exactly the same for the other columns. So these are your expenses a month. Oh, I forgot the antivirus over here. What's going to happen is if you change any of these values, they will change. I I pay £5 over here. Okay, so they automatically change. So this is your monthly total income, your monthly total expenses, and your monthly savings. So let's say that she's got the same. I'm doing both of here so you can have an idea, because as you can see, I've done a breakdown of the weeks over here, and for my misses I've just included the monthly expenses, right? In this case, what you need to do is put delta over here, and it's gonna be this equals to this minus this. Okay, so as we can see, we're kind of balanced because we got like almost the same, even though she earns a little bit less. I think she's on 450 if I'm not mistaken. So this is like, it's more like this, but we're kind of balanced in terms of savings. She's on 460 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 460. So let me just go back to that's it. So if you can see, there's not much difference. There is a bit of a difference in wages, but there's not much difference in terms of savings. Through this, what you can do is then you can decide where the money is going, right? So you know that in this case you can save £661, you can save £535. These are including all the basic expenses plus some of the less frugal expenses. I mean, you could avoid this, right? You could avoid this and you would have an extra £200 a month, right? You could reduce the mobile phone bills and you'd have another £100 a month. But obviously these are the things that we prioritize. And why do I have takeaway over here? Because in our case we work separate shifts. When I'm working, she's off. When she's off, I'm working. We rarely have time with each other, and we take all the possible chances to reduce the time that we don't spend together. I mean, obviously, if she's cooking, I might be sitting in the kitchen talking to her, or the other way around, but it's not the same thing. We can enjoy quality time together while we're waiting for the takeaway or whatever. And to be honest, sometimes we're just tired. I mean, we get off work, we go to the gym, we get home, we're completely knackered, and we don't want to be cooking. So we just order something out. But this is one of the expenses that you can get rid of. This as well, this as well, this as well. I mean, there are a lot of expenses that we can get rid of, and we could actually increase a little bit more. But I mean, if we add these two, we're talking roughly about 1,200 that we've got monthly. Obviously, I'm not including clothing and expenses with school, that sometimes the kids have trips and stuff. This is just a guidance. And what you can do is, if you have more expenses, or if you want to add more expenses, you just put them over here, and you'll get the totals, you get the difference, and you get what you can do with your expenses. Obviously, what I've tried to do here was spread my expenses throughout the month, because I earn it weekly. If it's in the beginning of the month, what I usually do is I would take all of the expenses, and I would take most of my savings. So usually people advise, for what I've seen, is it should be, what they say, it should be like 50 50 50 30 20, if I'm not mistaken, which is like 50 for your fixed expenses, 20 for your regular expenses like food and groceries and stuff, and 20% for your savings. I mean, if we look at it, let's go to the if we look at it, we got 340 times 0.2, 768. So we're actually managing to save a little bit more than 20%. But well, this is just a guidance. Obviously, I think I can show you another one. What we usually do is, I have this just to keep track of things, and then let me open another one. This is the one that I've got in Portuguese. As you can see, it's really similar. It's got all the expenses here, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, totals, just as I've shown you. What I do is I do a second one, because sometimes we get overtime, sometimes we get extra expenses, so I put the real earnings over here and the real expenses over here, because sometimes we get to renegotiate some stuff and it changes. In the fast food, for example, or the takeaway, I usually put the values in exactly as they come, so that we can have an accurate value. I even get other debits and extra expenses, even addictions. For example, if you're a smoker, if you like, I don't know, some people like to gamble, and they might set a weekly limit. Let's say, okay, I'm gonna have some fun, I'm gonna gamble, I'm gonna play, let's say, £20 a week. Boom, you add it to your budget, okay? So that you can keep track of all your money, and all of this will be matching exactly your bank accounts, which is an advantage, because you don't even need to check your bank account. You know from your spreadsheets exactly how much you've got over there. So yeah, this is how you do it. If you want to use the other one, it's really good. And if I'm not mistaken, I even had a tracker. I had a tracker for goals. Let me see if I have it over here, because I don't remember. I think it was this, which is the oldest one, savings sheet. Okay, so this is a tracker that I've got, which is the savings plan. This is, for example, if you want to buy a new car, right? That car is going to cost you 10 grand, okay? These are your average a week, because I got here, okay? And the months left, okay? Let's say you want to pay it you got a plan, right? And this will tell you how long you're gonna take to achieve that goal. I can try to put this into a Google file or something, so I can share it with you. Or if you're interested, you just get in touch with me, and I can probably email it to you. I mean, it's not like I got like thousands or millions of subscriptions, so we don't have much yet. So I can still get a hang of everyone and send it via email or something if you want this file. If not, it's also pretty simple to do it. If you want, I can do a video about it, but basically I got the days over here, the amount that I put on each day. Let's say I plan to put, it depends, because it depends on the expenses that I've got on that month. It depends on my budget. Sometimes I can put 100, sometimes I can put 50, sometimes I can put 200, sometimes I can put 179, sorry. And you keep putting these dates over here, right? And as you can see, the total value that you want to achieve is reducing. So you keep going and you keep putting the money every month. 300, 100, 150. As you're putting here all your savings, right? Let's say you opened different bank accounts and you're moving all this money over there. You just transfer the money over there, and you can keep track of how long you got left to do. So this will motivate you to achieve this goal. And then you'll see, okay, I got 14 months left. So if I put 200, this is gonna reduce. Then you got 13. And okay, but what if I put 300? Okay, it dropped to 12. But if I put another 300, it dropped to 11, almost 10. What if I put 400 next month, or 500? Boom, it dropped to 9. And so long. As you keep doing this, the money is on your side. What you see is that this needs to go down here. You need to achieve 0. Okay, so this will tell you, will give you the average of this. Okay, how much you're putting a week. This multiplies that average by 4. And this is just this value, okay, divided by this value, which will give you the amount of months that you got left. So if you keep saving £865 a month, you're gonna achieve this goal. How did I get to £865? Okay, because it's the average is 216, because this is weekly payments. However, if you can't save it that much, this is gonna change, obviously. This month you only managed to put 200. It says the average is gonna be 400, and you got 24 months left. but you know for sure that you this month you only put 200. So if you want, what you can do is you can add 0 and 0 for another 2 weeks, just for the sake of accuracy, right? So you establish that in this month you only managed to put 200. So that means that average for week it's 50, the monthly savings it's 200, and the months left it's 49 months. It's up to you if you like it, if you don't, or if you find a better way of doing it. It's up to you if you want to use it or not. This was just a planner that I used to, I think it was to save to purchase my last car, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it really helped me. And hopefully these worksheets will help you budget, will help you control your costs, will help. Some people are more visual, so I think that some people will consider that this is more useful than prioritizing expenses, like I told you before. But this will give you the chances to see where you need to cut, to see if, let's say, for example, I did something wrong, right? And these groceries didn't go over here, they went over here. I would be on minus 62 this week, which means that on week 4 I couldn't save 154. I would save 154. I would save 90 pounds, let's say 92 pounds. That's the most that I could put into my savings account, because the following week I would have expenses that would be over, let's say, overdraft. It would be over my earnings by 62 pounds. So what you need to do is grab all your receipts, grab everything that you've got and put it into the worksheet. And then you can visualize where you're losing money, where the expenses are going, where's your money going, and where your money is going. And then you can call the companies and say, well, you know what? I've checked my expenses. I've been having some troubles during the first week of the month. I got a lot of expenses going into that week. Could you move my direct debit from the 1st or the 2nd of the month to the 12th or the 10th of the same month? And they will do it for sure. And let's say you had the expenses over here on the first week and you wanted to move to the second week or the third week. You choose the day of the month. They will move that expense. And from that day on, you've already spread the expenses and you can manage to keep an average balance. Let's say, I can say that, yeah, I can probably save at least £100 a week for sure. Which means that in the end, if I got any debt or credit cards to pay or whatever, it's £400 a month that you can put aside and pay those expenses, or it's £400 a month that you can put directly into savings. Then after this, after you got rid of all the expenses and you got all the savings, we'll start going through the plans for savings, as I showed you previously on the other sheet, or I'm gonna talk about all the places that you can direct those savings to get more out of it. So from this place, we'll start to go into investments, but we still got a lot to go through here. I would like to see some questions in the comments. If you got, just let me know what you think about it. If you started and it's actually working for you, if you'd like to go over something that you didn't understand, or if you want to go in depth about something in terms of budgeting and prioritizing your expenses. If not, we can go we can move to the next step, which is what to do with those savings, and that's the most important thing. As you know, we had the prioritization. These are the main expenses. The fixed expenses, which is what you need, right? Then we can move for what you love, which is your dreams, your travels, and all of that. And I can show you some plans to work around it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any doubts or if you got any questions about it, just put it down in the comments. And I hope you liked it. And if you did, just click on that subscribe button to check the next one. Okay? See you next time. Bye.